Harry, to put it politely. I think she is very manipulative. Meghan Markle is someone who's basically got rid of almost her entire family on her side, apart from her mother, her entire family on the father's side, including her father, which is incredibly sad. And now she's wrestled Harry away from his family.
Sarah Ferguson has reportedly pulled off a move no one saw coming, and it's shaking both Buckingham Palace and Montecito right now. According to several insiders, the Duchess of York recently dropped a surprising claim in her latest commentary, one that connects Meghan Markle and Prince Andrew in a way that's never been talked about before. The most shocking twist? Sources say Prince Harry didn't even know about any of this until now. What's leaving royal watchers completely stunned is that Sarah's comments didn't sound like vague gossip or recycled drama. Observers claim she spoke with bold confidence. She allegedly shared very specific details about how Meghan and Andrew might have crossed paths.
That you were like, oh no, I know that I love this guy.
Yes, that was our third date.
You fell in love on your third date?
We met in Botswana and we camped for 5 days together.
Oh, so you really had time to fall in love in those few days. That's nice.
But you really get to know somebody when you're in a little tent together and there's like, what is that outside the tent?
Long before Harry ever entered the scene, the information reportedly came from Sarah's first-hand knowledge of Andrew's private social circles, and that instantly caught the attention of royal insiders everywhere. And here's where things take a dramatic turn. Sarah has been publicly supporting Andrew through non-stop scrutiny, all while working to rebuild her own reputation after past associations stirred controversy. Now, some close to the palace suggest this revelation could be one of two things: a long-hidden truth finally surfacing, or a clever move to steer attention away from something else. Either way, everyone's asking the same question loud and clear: why now? Reports claim that Sarah and Andrew have quietly grown close again over the past few months, even after being divorced for decades.
And she has convinced, there's a thing called in psychology called the Freudian transfer. She has convinced Harry that she is Princess Diana, except this time he has an opportunity to save her. That is the truth. And it's worked, right? So she's done this convincing performance for Harry that I don't know how I ended here. I just love you. And I'm just like your mom. And the one chance that you had to save your mom again.
Multiple insiders say the two have reconnected on a personal level as outside pressure keeps building, standing together while much of the royal family keeps its distance. That detail changes everything. It shapes how people are viewing this latest claim. It's almost like Sarah saying, "Oh no, I know how much I care for this man," and that emotional undertone has caught major attention. Andrew officially stepped back from royal duties after renewed scrutiny over his past connections. Around the same time, Sarah faced criticism herself.
I think this post on X from Genevieve's sums up the situation facing the British royal family the best. 2 down, 2 to go. Because while there is quite naturally fury at the lack of action over that oaf Prince Andrew.
According to The Guardian, the timing couldn't be worse. Now both Sarah and Andrew are facing huge public pressure, feeling cut off from royal influence and struggling to protect their image. Some insiders believe this new story linking Meghan and Andrew might not just be about spilling secrets, it could be a strategic move. If there's truth to it, it doesn't just shake old narratives, it pulls someone else right into the royal spotlight. If the story has been overstated, it still puts pressure on someone with massive global support and a powerful public platform, and that alone makes the timing impossible to ignore.
She thinks if we just know her, again, like we're gonna like her, okay, show me the friends who know you, who have stuck by you. Who's still in your life? There's not even a family member. They're all gone. Everyone who knew you either fled from you or they were dumped by you because they weren't famous. They weren't Tyler Perry. They weren't Oprah, Gayle, all these people who she didn't know at all who she had at her wedding. George Clooney, I'm sure they were really tight.
Especially now, as reports claim Sarah Ferguson and Andrew are in active talks to leave Royal Lodge, the home they've shared for years, despite being divorced. Every part of this situation is crashing together at once, and the noise is getting louder by the day. Sources also claim King Charles III has encouraged Sarah and Andrew to downsize, with quiet discussions reportedly taking place. What really set royal watchers buzzing is the claim that Frogmore Cottage, the former UK home of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, was even floated as an option. The symbolism there is impossible to miss, and people noticed immediately. The idea of Andrew possibly moving into the Sussex's former residence adds a sharp new layer of tension.
Meghan really can't seem to understand that, with the likes of Spotify, Netflix and the rest now dumping her. Where do you go from here? What do you become after this? You get the picture. Now, this is the reason why many people understand the marriage, shall we say, has hit one of those rocky patches.
Especially while Sarah is allegedly making waves with claims tied to Meghan's past and Andrew's social world. That overlap alone has sent speculation into overdrive. What is fully on record is Sarah's loyalty to Andrew. She's openly said she would never turn her back on him, stating she made a promise to the late Queen to stand by his side, and she's stayed firm on that position ever since, even through intense public scrutiny. Observers believe that unwavering loyalty could help explain why Sarah might feel compelled to speak out now, regardless of the backlash. Sources claim over the years, Andrew often confided in Sarah, even when doing so risked pulling others into the spotlight. According to insiders familiar with what Sarah allegedly shared, the real shock comes from claims that Meghan and Andrew actually knew each other socially before Meghan ever met Prince Harry. It's being said they may have crossed paths within elite social circles.
I think she was scared of coming back to this country, and quite rightly, because the people of this country don't like the fact that she's stolen our prince. And she's literally brainwashed him, blinkered him, and tied him down to his Californian mansion.
We're nearly out of time, but quickly, Jim, it couldn't be possible, could it, that a bloke gets sort of falls in love and...
forbid. I mean, he might fall in love and actually follow his heart. I love that you're our royal correspondent.
And that their connection might have been more than just the brief introduction Meghan once described in public. If that's true, it could completely flip the timeline everyone thought they understood. This is where things start clashing with the official story. In his memoir, Spare, Harry wrote that Meghan first met several royals, including Andrew, during what he described as a casual introduction at Royal Lodge. Harry even claimed that Meghan didn't recognize Andrew at first and supposedly thought he was a staff member rather than the Queen's son. That version of events was meant to highlight how unfamiliar Meghan was with royal life, but now insiders are saying Sarah's account tells a totally different story. According to these new claims, Meghan allegedly already knew who Andrew was before that introduction, and that they had seen each other before at social gatherings.
I think it's really the money, because she was with Trevor Engelson and her father gave her stuff, so she wasn't really like one of those, I think anyways, one of those really struggling actresses, or actors that you see them waitering tables and, they don't have it. But she was living with Trevor Engelson and her father was giving her money and cars.
According to these new claims, the story of Meghan and Andrew's first meeting might not match what Sarah reportedly knows. Still, it's important to make one thing clear. These are unverified allegations, and no major publication has released direct quotes from Sarah confirming any of this. Reports differ wildly depending on the source. Some say she mentioned specific places where Meghan might have been seen within Andrew's social circle, while others claim she only spoke in general terms about the overlap in their networks. What matters most is the ripple effect. Observers believe Sarah may have just challenged the official version of when and how Meghan was first introduced to royal life. If these claims are true, they completely reshape a story Meghan has told for years. But if they turn out to be exaggerated, it could open the door to major pushback and scrutiny. Either way.
And people would always ask me when I worked there, like, okay, like what stories are real? And I'd be like, okay, every story is real except for the ones about the royal family. And this was prior to Meghan Markle coming on. I'm like, the palace is just a tight ship.
Tension around this situation has skyrocketed. And it's the timing of Sarah Ferguson's alleged comments that's really got royal watchers whispering. It's not just what was supposedly said, it's when it came out. That timing has people questioning motives and wondering whether this was an unfiltered truth or a calculated move to stir attention. Sarah's own complicated past makes things even murkier. Her name was pulled back into the headlines years ago after several charities reportedly ended partnerships with her following resurfaced emails, according to major outlets at the time. That history now casts a long shadow over her latest revelation, leaving everyone guessing what's real and what's strategy. That moment reportedly shattered Sarah's attempts to rebuild her reputation.
I like to think that Meghan would like that. Meghan likes to be number one. Meghan does not simply degrade Prince Harry. She degrades his entire family, his entire legacy. And this is a different kind of embarrassment. She has mocked his heritage, his traditions, his grandmother, the former Queen of England, and it seems like she did so happily.
And insiders say she's been in full damage control ever since. Against that backdrop, her latest alleged remarks hit even harder. Critics argue that dropping new claims involving Meghan Markle and Prince Andrew could be a strategic move, one that conveniently shifts public attention away from Sarah's own complicated history. At the same time, it puts new pressure on Meghan, who's often received public sympathy despite ongoing royal tensions. The timing of it all feels far from random. No one really knows whether Sarah acted out of strategy or pure emotion. But what makes things even more tangled is her renewed closeness with Andrew. Observers believe that bond might have awakened a sense of loyalty, pushing Sarah to speak out against those she sees as being unfair or not entirely honest, at least from her own perspective. Some royal commentators even suggest Sarah might view Meghan as someone who's publicly presented herself as misunderstood, while possibly keeping certain past connections private. If it turns out that Meghan really did know Andrew before meeting Prince Harry, and if those social circles overlap with ones Sarah knows through Andrew.
But if we've got it all wrong, and I'm sorry, Harry and Meghan, if we have got it all wrong, then I suggest to fix it, you issue a new statement.
Then Sarah may see Meghan's version of events as incomplete or misleading. That belief alone could be driving her to set the record straight, especially now that both she and Andrew feel pushed aside and under intense scrutiny. Royal insiders point out that Sarah Ferguson has a long reputation for speaking more openly than most royals ever would, often saying things in public that others would never dare to touch. And now, sources close to the situation claim Prince Harry is deeply unsettled by what Sarah has allegedly revealed. According to these reports, Harry had no idea that Meghan might have had any prior connection to Prince Andrew, and finding out about it this way has reportedly raised serious personal questions for him. Neither Harry nor Meghan has commented directly on the claims, and it's important to note that these allegations remain completely unverified.
I've always said, lean into Harry. Harry, your togetherness, she wants to just use him a little, use him for the promo, but this is my thing.
Because she's branding herself away from him.
Still, royal commentators say that if Sarah's version of events were even partially true, it would hit at the core of Harry's understanding of his own marriage. Harry has always painted Meghan as someone entirely outside the royal bubble, someone who came into his life fresh with no deep knowledge of royal customs, bringing a completely new energy to the monarchy. But if it turns out that Meghan had met Andrew before meeting Harry, and if those social circles overlapped with ones Sarah knows through Andrew, that narrative could start to crack, and that's exactly what has everyone buzzing. Royal watchers can't ignore the weight of it all. Harry gave up relationships, moved across the world, and fiercely defended Meghan every step of the way because he believed in that story. Now this alleged twist is testing the very foundation of that belief. Sources say that if Harry were to realize the story he believed wasn't completely accurate, it wouldn't just hurt. It would shake his trust in a way no outside criticism ever could. This isn't just about a forgotten acquaintance. It's about him defending a version of events that might not have told the full truth. Royal insiders suggest that the strange silence from everyone involved might actually be the biggest clue of all. Neither side has spoken out.
Because these emails are going to keep coming out, but they are just sitting tight, imagining this horrible scandal will just go away, like scandals have a habit of doing. But I'm with you, Matt, on this. I don't think this is going to go away at all.
Sarah Ferguson hasn't confirmed making any of the alleged comments, and Meghan Markle has completely avoided addressing the situation in public. That silence keeps the story alive while avoiding a full-blown legal showdown, letting the speculation swirl as no one steps forward to end it. It's a strategic kind of quiet, the kind that fuels curiosity without crossing any official lines. Whether Sarah's alleged comments were genuine revelations or carefully crafted distractions will likely become clearer with time. If she truly made those statements and has any proof, royal sources believe that documentation could eventually appear through verified media coverage. But if the claims were stretched or built off misunderstood remarks, then the lack of concrete evidence will only stand out more as the spotlight grows brighter. What's certain, according to those close to the situation, is that Prince Harry is now reportedly wrestling with doubts and questions he's never had to face before. And that emotional storm might just be the most intense one yet. This situation has reportedly pushed Harry to question parts of his relationship for the very first time, and that's adding major tension to an already delicate dynamic. Sarah's alleged comments have sparked a wave of debate over Meghan's credibility, and now that tension is spilling straight into the wider royal divide. Royal insiders say things between the Sussexes and the monarchy were already complicated, but this latest twist adds a brand new layer of drama and discomfort. Whether it all leads to more revelations, official statements, or even legal moves depends entirely on how both sides decide to handle it moving forward. Now, everyone's asking the same question. What was Meghan's real connection to Andrew, if any, beyond what's already been reported? Could there be more to the story, or has this all been blown out of proportion? Either way, royal watchers believe the truth might not stay buried for long, even if neither woman is eager to speak up in public just yet. If you're hooked on uncovering every royal twist, secret backstory, and shocking update, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and drop your thoughts in the comments. You won't want to miss what's coming next. The royal drama is far from over.